you would have thought, after the experience that we had in Australia with illegal boat arrivals, and we worked out that the way to fix that was to turn the boats back, and Tony Abbott did that very effectively, and of course it then became the policy of the Labor Party because it works that they'd be able to do that kind of thing over in the United Kingdom. It doesn't seem that they're able to. They've had record numbers of illegal migrants coming over from the European mainland this year. I mean, 22,360 so far this year. Just so far this month, 2,378 asylum seekers have arrived in the UK. And this fundamentally is happening, extra ones at the moment, because it's summer and so it's warm and so the conditions are better. So they're all making a mad scramble over there. But the people smugglers are doing summer deals to get more of them across the channel as though it was some sort of package holiday to Benidorm or something. I mean, how good?
It's absurd. And they're also targeting different ethnic groups with this summer sale for crossing the English Channel. But when you look at these images, it's largely young men racing across the channel. It really is very disturbing. Nigel Farage was actually at the English Channel the other day and he exposed the fraud that is going on.
The dinghy has left the French beaches, been escorted over by the French Navy, and if we turn around we can see the Border Force vessel, and he's now waiting on the 12-mile line for the handover. Bear in mind, we've given the French 800 million quid since 2014. It's interesting. We're literally watching one government politely handing over to another government 78 people on that rib, one woman, 3 kids, and 74 young adult males whose identity we do not know. If this is not a national security emergency, I don't know what is.
So they get escorted across the channel by the French Navy, and then they get dropped off to English Border Patrol, who takes them the rest of the way. This is hardly even illegal crossing. This is basically government escort, government guided passage. It's truly incredible.
Uber on the high seas.
Yeah, and so illegal migrant crossings of the channel are up 57%, even just on last year. Now, Starmer said he would do something about the boats, but the problem is only getting worse.
I mean, you're essentially facilitating the invasion of your country and you're allowing it to happen. Why, if you're looking at the United States and what a massive issue border control was in the presidential election. Like it was the top thing. Well, beyond cost of living, which was number one, as it's been number one everywhere. Number two, even for Democrats, was the border. How has Starmer not looked at that and gone, we need to stop this now?
Yeah, you do have to stop it. And the problem is that once you let it start, it is incredibly difficult to stop. And this is something that that people on the left have laboured under. It's a misapprehension that I, years ago, laboured under. This idea that you're somehow doing something progressive or humanitarian by having open borders. It does the exact opposite. What it does is it prioritises people who are rich enough and fit enough to be able to make the dangerous journey and survive. And
then claim that they're asylum.
And that is overwhelmingly, as our friend Nigel Farage said, overwhelmingly young men, which leaves women and children back in the home country or refugee camp, still facing persecution if we are to believe that they are legitimate asylum seekers, but without a breadwinner, without anyone to provide for them. Most evil dictatorships that these people are fleeing do not have, hugely generous welfare programs for single mums. It might surprise people to learn. So you're actually doing the worst possible thing. And then if these people are taking an official quota, a set quota, as they do in Australia, of your humanitarian intake as a proportion of your overall migrant intake, then that means that every single visa they get is one you are not getting through the official UN program for, women and children who would normally be prioritised because they're more vulnerable, who are languishing in, refugee camps in Lebanon or Jordan or wherever with the last Syrian refugee crisis. Instead, you have other people who aren't even coming from those kind of war zones, who might be coming from somewhere like Sri Lanka, which was a really big intake number, but that's not what people have in their heads.
Exactly. So one of the largest countries that people are coming from is Vietnam. I'm sorry, like you're not fleeing conflict in Vietnam.
popular tourist
Aussies
destination.
go to Vietnam on holidays every year. And so I mean, there are a few legal challenges, of course. They're still in the European Commission on Human Rights, which is limiting what they can do. But I think if they really wanted to tackle this, they should just cut all subsidies and funding to new migrant arrivals. That would definitely disincentivize people from trying to cross the channel.
Yeah, well, once you've got lost control of your borders, you've lost control of your country. It's as simple as that.